everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all, wherever you are listening or watching the IKIGAI Coach of the month of August. And I'm really, really happy to be joined today by my good friend and one of our first IKIGAI coaches in Australia, Mr. Robert Bentley. Rob, good to see you here.
Yeah, thank you, Paul, mate. At your morning, my afternoon.
Yeah, that's correct. And in the middle of the summer holidays over here.
Yeah, and I'm freezing where I am. It must be 17 degrees and positively frozen.
And you getting some rain there?
It's been the second wettest July in probably 50 years. So 28 of the 31 days have been raining.
Wow, that's incredible.
Mm.
So I know that you are like myself for a couple of decades in this industry and got a lot of experience. But I'm also wondering, Rob, with the COVID and the whole pandemic that we are all facing, I guess, everywhere in the world, how do you see the situation currently in Australia with how are organizations responding to all of this?
Well, Australia is a large country, right? So it's about as large as the United States. So from one side of the country to the other, quite different. We're very fortunate where I am in Western Australia, where our policy has been to lock down hard and lock down early. And so the impact over here has been far less. I think we've spent a total of 7 days in the last 16 months under a mask. So you compare and contrast that to the East Coast, where the population largely resides, and they've been in and out of 2, 3, 4 month lockdowns, probably more closely, similar to what's happened in the UK is happening on the East Coast. Now, the case numbers are certainly far, far, far smaller, but the impact on business is significant. So where I am, we're actually in a boom. All right, so we're a largely mining and resources economy and service sector, and it's booming. So we really have hardly noticed any difference at all. Over on the East Coast, where the majority of the GDP is generated, problematic. So a lot of people Zooming. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people, in that Zoom, working from home. A lot of people moving to country locations to get out of the cities, shifting their family, operating because of good quality internet, being able to do what they need to do in regional locations.
And what is your experience with, I don't know to what extent companies in your area then are having a direct impact of COVID, because you're talking about a boom, but what would you advise to companies when we are getting back to normal, quote unquote, with regard to, how should they reconnect perhaps in some ways to their people?
Yeah, so my simple answer to that is face-to-face. One of the things that's been, amazing is being able to communicate and in my game, coach my clients around the world virtually, certainly in the Asia Pacific region. But nothing beats face-to-face. And, the ability to actually connect your teams together again to, funnily enough, we're humans, we need to be in the same environment and smell the pheromones and get a sense of what's really going on for our people. That the moment we possibly can, and that will be dictated by vaccinations, of course, the moment we possibly can, we should be reconvening, reconnecting in person with our people, our clients, our suppliers, and so on.
And are you advising your clients or companies to invest some in coaching when it comes to kind of reboarding or onboarding their people again?
Yeah, so of course I'm biased.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I would suggest that. But I think whether they or not they need help or assistance to do that, I think it's an excellent idea. Why wouldn't you? I mean, the Olympics are on now. There's not a single athlete, I don't think, in the Olympic Village that doesn't have a coach. I mean, they're the high performing, athletes that I think is a great corollary for business, right? You wouldn't be trying to do it yourself, and it would just take longer. It would be harder. You'd be less successful at it. So, the coaching approach will help significantly, particularly with recalibrating teams with, as we're doing now, people that are struggling with COVID and lockdowns and change roles and focus and stress. The coaching is invaluable.
Well, and the reason I'm asking Rob is, and I guess this question regularly, and I guess perhaps you can call it the elephant in the room question, right? Where some companies are kind of hesitating, should I invest in, in coaching or purpose coaching, whatever you want to call it, and then as a result of the whole process, my best people will leave, and that's a kind of a paradox in the thinking you need to apply. And I saw some recent research from McKinsey. I think it was launched just before the summer in April, May, where it also clearly stated that if you don't invest in it yourself, your people will probably go to other companies that do invest in coaching or in purpose coaching. So in a way, and then this is also scientifically driven with data, but it's a no-brainer that it's probably going to be a good investment, whatever if
Yeah.
you're biased or not. But this is just something I wanted to also get your opinion on, because in many ways it's the elephant in the room question, and I see still a lot of.
It's no different. It's no different to I think to the training question, right? What if I train my people and they leave, and what if I don't train them and they stay, right? It's similar. It's similar to that. I take the abundant view, right? If I pick up a qualified, skilled employee, they were trained somewhere else. Amazing.
Yeah.
And it swings and roundabouts, right? So sometimes it'll be me training them, getting them clear around context and purpose. Sometimes it'll be someone else doing that. And what we want people to want to be in our organizations, right? We provide opportunity. It's up to them to decide whether that opportunity is for them or not. And, we hope that by giving them what we think are valuable tools, skill sets, opportunities to grow, all those transformational things, they'll want to stay. If it's just transactional, another $5 and they'll move on, right? So we know it takes, what's the old saying? It's takes 6 minutes to steal your IP, 6 months to steal your people, but 6 years to steal your culture, right? So, get to work on the culture. One of the key cultural pieces is your purpose. People will that may not connect with your purpose once you're clear on it, and they may move on because they're not a match. Others will come in. If other people get clear while they're with you about their purpose and they go, it's not here, it'll be somewhere else. Fantastic. That leaves room for someone to come in who is aligned and who sees your organization and goes, yes, that rings my bell.
So in other words, Rob, you're saying that companies should be very clear on their purpose too. So it's not only people that should kind of unlock their purpose, work on their purpose, but companies too.
Well, how else are they going to do it? It's, I find those that aren't purpose driven are very much more transactional.
That are not purpose driven.
Yeah, very much more transactional. That's my experience, right? Mostly I find that they're transactional because they don't know any other way and they haven't been introduced to this notion of purpose and of being really clear why they exist as an organization. And the workshop I was running on Monday, when the principal saw that, he just said, my goodness, I've been in business for so long and I've never been clear about this, and now I'm clear that this thing exists, even if I'm not 100% clear what it is, but I want to find out more about it.
Yeah, I'm fully with you, and I am so convinced, and you see this all the time. Your company becomes magnetic once you're clear on your purpose and you are sincere about it. It's no window dressing, and you stick to your principles. And and
everything falls under that. Everything in my view falls underneath that clear purpose and reason for being.
Yeah. Rob, it's a short interview, but I want to say thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to continue our work together in building up the IKIGAI global community. And
mate, it's been great so far, and now you made more sense, because the more people can get exposed and clear about their IKIGAI and their purpose, the better the world's going to be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rob.